What? What's happening? Stone Cologne 316 here. What? What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. All my existing subscribers, welcome back. Really appreciate you guys. Hope everyone's doing well. I had a little idea. Wanted to do a list video, and you guys are probably going to hate me for this, but I want to talk about Dior Sauvage. I got like 10 alternatives to Dior Sauvage. I do not own Dior Sauvage. I had the EDP and I sold it. But I realized I don't really need Sauvage. I do like that fragrance. I think it's one of the most mass appealing, just it's a love-hate relationship fragrance. Peppered shower gel and Broxin. Basically, that's what you're going to get. Really set a trend with blue fragrances over the years. So I figured I have 10 of them that maybe you don't know about. Maybe you do. Maybe you're interested in what I have to say about them. But I got 10 Dior Sauvage alternatives. Let's get into it. What? First off, this I found in the rack stores a couple months ago, last year. I've heard of this brand before. I've heard of the house. They're not known to make fragrances, so it was a $20 fragrance. But Formula One, they have a line. They have a couple that smell like Sauvage. They're doing clones, but this one is Turn One. Called Turn One. Horrible looking bottle. Looks like a bowling pin. Does not scream racing to me, so it's a little weird, but this is really interesting. The story behind this one is it's supposed to smell like tires on wet concrete. And it honestly gives you a realistic vibe of that vision. It does have like a concrete type of smell to it. It's really weird. And then it quickly dries into Dior Sauvage. There's angelica flower in it, which I'm assuming gives this like weird bitter tone. And then there's oak moss and violet leaf. So that combination with the angelica root or angelica flower is probably giving off this weird synthetic wet rubber concrete type of vibe to it. But it's not off-putting. It's just a little weird. But it gets a little powdery in the dry down, but it does dry down into Sauvage. This comes with a base with it, which is on my shelf, so you can't like make it stand just like this. For now, I have to keep it, laying on the flat surface, but pretty decent. I mean, it screams Sauvage. It's kind of a very cheap synthetic Sauvage cologne, but it's Turn One from Formula One. Check that out. If you've seen it in the wild, or if you have it, let me know what you think of it. It's okay. It's not the greatest. It's not bad. Formula One, Turn One. Check that out. Next, another cheapie. Again, I don't actually have a full bottle of it. It's a sample. So don't give me any shit for not having a full-size bottle, because I technically do have a bottle. It's just a mini bottle. It's Mercedes-Benz Man Blue. It's a dabber. I found this. It had a set of it had two of the regular one, a blue, and then it had a gray one. The gray is kind of fresh, spicy, a little I forgot what that smells like, a little sweeter, but this is a very fruity Sauvage. I've worn it maybe a couple times. I don't like the splashers on. I don't like the dabbers on that. So, but it is very heavily inspired by Sauvage. It has basically all the notes except in Broxin. It's got amber in it, but it's nothing too crazy. It's very much a cheap synthetic knockoff. It's a little aquatic. It's a little lavender, adds a little floralness to it. It's just it's good. It's just kind of fresh and spicy, and it doesn't smell exactly like Sauvage. But if you need an alternative, this seems to be pretty good. It feels so weird, like showing the bottle on this, but Mercedes Man Blue. Check that one out. Next, this one doesn't smell exactly like Sauvage. There may be an inspiration to Sauvage in there, but it kind of does its own thing. I think it's probably the best cool water flanker that they came out with, and it's Cool Water Parfum. Lemon, pink pepper, vetiver, and sandalwood. To me, this kind of gives off a slight Santal 33 vibe. But if you want something similar to Sauvage, but is not loaded with a crap ton of ambroxan, this is really good. I ended up quick background on this one. I got this at Marshall's in 2021. The box that they had this in was the identical box of the regular Cool Water. And they have Cool Water aftershaves and all that jazz over there. And I found a box that did not of this, and it did not have a price on it. So I ended up going up to the register, and I told the lady, hey, this one doesn't have a price tag, but here's one that says it's $16.99. So they price matched it. I got this for $16.99. It was worth like $30 at the time. So I ended up getting it like half off. Really, really good stuff. I get 8+ hours on this. It's very woody. The lemon kind of dies down after about a half hour. The pink pepper adds a little sweetness, but then it's just vetiver and sandalwood. But it does kind of give off a Sauvage type of vibe. So if you have this, let me know what you think of it. But Cool Water Parfum, this is a really good one. Kind of slept on too. Check that one out. Next, this one is probably for the kids, but I had to put it in here because it does smell like Sauvage. It does a little of its own thing in the beginning, and then it dries down into it. That seems to be the trend with a lot of these. The opening's a little different, but then they'll dry down into something else. But Hollister, I've been seeing a lot of these popping up at Ross Dress for Less, but it's Hollister Canyon Rush. This smells like a watermelon version of Sauvage. There's watermelon and violet leaf and pepper up top. Which is weird because the watermelon and black pepper come out, and it's like it's a little weird, but it works. And then the lavender kicks in, a little geranium in there, amber, cedarwood, patchouli. I mean, it's nothing crazy you have to go out and buy. I think I spent like $12 on this, but on skin, this is very, very good. I get about 6 hours on it. I'll wear this out the shower sometimes. I think I wore it to the office once, but it's decent. It's a little sweet, it's fresh, spicy. I mean, it smells like Sauvage. Not identical, about 80% though. Hollister Canyon Rush. I have Canyon Escape, I think, which is I had it over here a little bit. It smelled like Invictus. And then there's another one, Canyon Sky. It smells like Aventus. So obviously they're cloning this line, the Canyon line, I would call it. They're cloning, they're inspired by basically. So if you have this, let me know how you feel of it. Again, if you want to roll the dice on a $12 fragrance, this is actually pretty solid. Hollister Canyon Rush. Next, this one I've talked about. This is one of my first videos in general on my channel. Renegade Intense. This smells identical to Sauvage EDT. $14.99. It's actually surprisingly really good. You get that bergamot, you get the fresh pepper. It's got Ambroxan in it, but what? It's not loaded too heavy with Ambroxan. I don't go nose blind to this, but I do get about 6 to 8 hours on it. This definitely smells probably the closest to the EDT. Yeah, I would say closest to the EDT. Not 1 to 1, but it's about 90-95% close to the original Eau de Toilette. I've really really like this stuff. I mean, there's a slight difference. I don't know if it's just like a woody nuance or what, but because I had a trouble finding the notes, it's on a website, but it's you kind of have to look high and low for it. But yeah, I get about 6 to 8 hours. I've worn this to the office a couple times. A lot of the old ladies at the office really like this one, so it's no joke. This is a good one. Let me know if you guys have this. If you find it at Marshalls or TJ Maxx and it's not in a box, it's open bottle stuff. Spray it on your hand, walk around, give it a half hour. If you like it, snag it. $15, dude. It's not even a blind buy. You can actually test it out there. Renegade Intense. I believe the house is called Rebel. So check that out if you see it, come across it, give it a spray. Pretty good stuff. Next, this one's a banger, dude. Um, it doesn't smell identical to Sauvage, but it does have some traits, and it would be a good alternative to Sauvage. It's Coach Platinum. Pineapple, vanilla. It's a little powdery. It's got Ambroxan in it. This stuff has macerated over the years, and I'm telling you right now, this stuff, I sprayed it on my hand. I sprayed it on my hand here one day at the after I got out of the shower at night. The next day, it was like 2 or 3 p.m. the next day. So I got my mouse right. I'm like, my hand is here. I could smell it still, even like over 12 hours. I could still smell it coming off my skin. And I only had 1 or 2 sprays just on here. Shit's potent. But you're going to get the black pepper in there. The Ambroxan is very heavy in here. Um, it's pretty powdery, a little sweet. But again, it's a good one. It does have that Sauvage vibe to it, but it's a little better than Sauvage, honestly, because it does have its own thing with it. So I'm sure you guys have gotten your nose on this, but let me know what you think of it. Coach Platinum, really really good stuff. It does kind of smell like the original Coach, but I feel like it's got that Sauvage thing going on for it because of the Ambroxan. So Coach Platinum, check that one out, man. Really good stuff. God, you can't not put this one in. Versace Dylan Blue. It does have that Ambroxan in it. It's got that aquatic notes. It's got bergamot grapefruit up top. Gets a little smoky in the dry down. The dry down is where it's at with this one. The dry down is where it's at. Black pepper, patchouli, frankincense, little saffron. Longevity stupid on here. I get 12 plus hours on this. And you will go nose blind to it. Hall of Fame worthy. What is there left to say about this one? This is a really, really good signature scent. Versatile. Dress it up, dress it down. You're going to get compliments with this if that's what you're looking for. I love the dry down of this just because it is a little different. As youthful as it is up top, the dry down really makes this like even a guy in their 70s could wear this. Honestly, it's not that immature. And that's what I think it's a brilliant fragrance. I think that's why I like Bentley for Men Black Edition, because I call that one the Versace Dylan Blues granddaddy, because it kind of gives off that, the dry down kind of gives off that vibe. But if you haven't got your nose on this, I really don't know what you're doing. You really need to try this. This is some really good stuff. Hall of Fame worthy, man. It's popular. I would love to see an intense version or a parfum version or an elixir version or an absolute. Like, give it to me. Give it all to me. What? Damn it. Give me all the stunners. I want to stunner my nose. What? Versace Dylan Blue. Check that one out. All right, next. This was hyped for a while. And I did a review on this in my car earlier last year. It was during a storm. Check that. Search my channel if you want like the worst review ever made. Top to bottom, it was awful. But I talked about Bvlgari Aqva Atlantique. This has been super hyped over the years. I believe it's discontinued. It's basically an aquatic version of Dylan Blue, but it does have that Sauvage. Dylan Blue is a very, very like good alternative to Sauvage. And since Dylan Blue's in this list, this one makes it as well, because there is Ambroxan, I believe in this, or ambergris. There's a strong ambergris note in here. I can smell it through here, and I can smell it in the air right now. But the bergamot, the sandalwood, there's a little benzoin in here, I guess. I get A+ hours on this, honestly. Some really, really good stuff. Probably the most popular Bvlgari Aqva flanker in the line. So, really good stuff. I mean, if you haven't got your nose on it, I don't know how much it's going for now. I don't know where you can still get it. I got this 4 years ago. Got it for like $40 off discounters. And the bottle cool. Look at that blue. That blue is just beautiful. Really good stuff. I wish I had a stand for it though. I have to lay it down flat, because you can't. So they do actually. They actually used to sell the stand separately, I believe. So I don't know where I can. I think I have something somewhere where I can, put it on a stand. But yeah, man, there's a seaweed note in here too that I can kind of smell. It gives it like a realistic oceanic kind of vibe to it. So yeah, man, check this out if you haven't. Bvlgari Aqva Atlantique. Check that out. Next, we got two more. This one actually is a dead ringer for Sauvage. It's actually, to me, it's an Aventus / Sauvage kind of hybrid. It's from Armaf. It's Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir. The opening, you're going to get Aventus, and then it quickly dries down into Sauvage. It's pretty sweet, but it's not like annoying sweet. But it's got the bergamot and the pink pepper in it. Lavender. It's got the geranium, saffron. There's a strong saffron note in the mid that kind of gives it this fuzzy kind of, almost comes across a little Baccarat Rouge 540-ish. Not that much, but it's there. And then Ambroxan, patchouli, cedar. It is actually really good. This is actually really, really good mass appealing stuff. It's a sweeter Sauvage, basically. But again, that opening, you do get that Aventus kind of, I think it's the orange blossom in there that kind of gives it this different, because like Aventus kind of has that fruity, like kind of black currant vibe in it. There's no black currant in here, but I can kind of get that black currant vibe, that fruity opening in Aventus. You're gonna get that here. But it's gonna dry down into Sauvage like a textbook Sauvage. Longevity, 8+ hours for sure. This sticks to your skin. Really good stuff. I got this for like $20. Fragrance Buy had it for like a stupid deal on it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get it. Club de Nuit Urban Man Elixir. Check that one out if you're looking for a good Sauvage type of cologne. This is right up there, man. Some good stuff. Check that out. All right, last but not least, I think you can take a wild guess what this one is. But this is known to be the better version, more smooth, more refined, just a better version of Sauvage EDP. It's Prada Lunar Rossa Carbon. I believe this is discontinued. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Look at that dent. I was wearing this constantly a couple of years back, and then heard it was getting discontinued, and then I dialed back wearing it, and now I only wear it sparingly. But I got about a little less than half left. But you get the bergamot, you get the black pepper, you get lavender, metallic notes. There's a soil, like a soil tincture note in there. Gives it earthiness. Got coal note. Excuse me. Got a coal note in there too. Kind of gives it this like smoky, chalky kind of vibe. And then ambroxan and patchouli. The soil and coal and patchouli really comes out on me. It gets really earthy. It's not dirty though. The soil note is not super dirty. It's just earthy. I'm really getting into the earthy fragrances. But this is just beautiful, man. The lavender in here really pops out. It gets really soapy. This whole line, the Luna Rossa line, has the lavender in it. It's front and center. The lavender is what makes this whole line what it is. But this one I love. I've tried pretty much all of them. I don't have any of the oceans. I don't have sport. I don't have the OG. I don't have extreme. But I've tried the Oceans Le Parfum. I've tried all of them. But if I'm in the mood for textbook Sauvage, this is what I'm gonna wear. This is the best alternative to Dior Sauvage, and I think everybody would agree. Hyped for good reason. Hall of Fame worthy. This stuff is no joke. It's the truth, and I'm here for it. So yeah, Prada Luna Rossa Carbon. Check that one out. And that's it. That's the 10 I got. I think it's pretty decent alternatives to Sauvage. I mean, I know a lot of people say Sauvage is like a fuckboy fragrance, but it still smells good. I don't wear it all the time. It ain't my signature scent by any means, but I do enjoy the scent profile, and these 10 I'd say are pretty good alternatives. So let me know if you have any of these. Let me know if you like them, you hate them. Curious to see what you guys your thoughts are, and yeah, you can't you can't get away from Dior Sauvage. It's always going to be there. It's going to be one of the most popular It's going to be a timeless classic. When we're all old and in our 70s and 80s, and we're God knows what's going to be out there. Sauvage is always going to be there. It's always going to be in the clutch. It's a good dumb reach. It's a good signature universal fragrance. So, anywho, I appreciate everybody watching. Do me a favor. Like, comment, and subscribe. What? And that's the bottom line. What? Because Stone Cologne said so. Take care, guys. Have a good one. See you on the next one.